Hi team, I hope you're all well. Today I am back with a makes video. It's been a long time since I've done one of these videos. The last one I did was in January, and I think from memory I only showed you one thing. So this is just going to be a roundup of things that I have made since then till now. I'm just going to call it April makes just for ease. I'm just going to show you the things that I've made. None of it is going to be in chronological order. It's literally as it appears on my rail next to me here. So the first thing I'm going to show you is this Butterick shirt, which is 6097. I did the top of view C with the bottom of view A, and I made this lovely blouse. I think it's either the third or fourth button down, there is quite a big gape. I think the problem that I have found with me and buttonholes is my preparation to make them. The execution of my buttonholes and putting my buttons on, it's not the worst, but I think my preparation to make them isn't very good. So then when I'm actually making the buttonholes, I'm doing it a little bit freehand because I haven't marked them on properly. So going forward, I'm gonna have to find a way that I can better mark my buttonholes. If anyone has any suggestions of how they mark their buttonholes and attach their buttons, please leave them in the comments below, because I am willing to try anything that can help me improve the execution of them. The next make I'm going to show you is another Butterick one. So this is B5215, and it's a t-shirt. This is one of the patterns that I did get from my recent haul. In one of my videos when I was making this, I said to myself that it didn't matter that my fabric didn't stretch as it's meant to on the pattern just at the top there. Correction, it does matter. It matters quite a lot, because that stretch, I realise, is a stretch that you need to be able to get the t-shirt over your head, but it's not a problem. I found a way around it. A little keyhole in the back so that I can unclasp it to make the back wider so I can get my head through, and then I can clasp it back, and the neckline is then slightly narrower and slightly higher on the shoulder than what it would be if I didn't have that in. But I think it works really quite well, and it was quite an easy hack. Now I can feel confident that I can make this t-shirt with different fabrics. Even if it doesn't make the stretch, I'll just have to make sure to open up the back so that your head can get in and out. The next make I'm going to show you will probably come as no surprise to anybody, because I can't remember whether or not I've shown this in a video or if I just posted it on Instagram, but I made another tutu using Simplicity 1427, which you guys will keep seeing no doubt throughout the year if I continue to show all the tutus that I make. It's one of my make 9s to make more tutus because I love them. I use view B, but I use it in two parts. So in view B there is what I think they call the underskirt, which looks like a shorter version of view C. Then there's an overskirt, which is all the extra ruffly bits at the bottom there. So I make them as two skirts. I make the overskirt and then the underskirt, so then I have two tutus from one pattern. I hope that makes sense. The tutu I made this time is grey. I don't need to talk about it. You guys already know I love this. I would wear it every day if I could. The next make I'm going to show you is another Butterick pattern. This is from a zone pattern haul that I did maybe a month or so ago. It's B6456, and I did view A literally as it is in a yellow fabric as well. This pattern again, I will definitely make the sleeve longer. The frill ends at my elbow, whereas I would rather the seam start at my elbow so then the frill is slightly longer, so it's more of a 3/4 sleeve than a half sleeve. That is what I will do next time. Other than that, I absolutely love this pattern. I'm not too sure what the fabric is. I feel like it might be a poly viscose of some sort, similar to the blouse that I made, but I'm not completely sure. I'm not too sure if it's embossed or if it's embroidery. It's not going to come up on the camera too great, I don't think, but there's like a non-print print on it, which I really like. It's just part of the fabric, so I'm going to try and hunt around for more fabric like this from wherever I can find it, because it just adds a bit of interest to a plain top. The skirt that I showed you in the clips with the Butterick's top was a Prima pattern skirt. So Prima patterns, they don't actually come in an envelope like this. It's an envelope I created myself just so that I'm storing them a bit better, but they come on two, I think it's A1 sheets, and the pattern is printed on both sides of the A1 sheet. So in order to actually cut out the pattern, you either have to photocopy it, if you can photocopy it A1 if you have a copy shop near you, or trace out one side of it and then cut out the other side. So that's what I did on this, and I didn't trace out every single size, I just traced out the sides that I needed and cut out the sides that I needed. Type of gabardine or chino fabric. It's got quite a good weight to it. To a slight extent, it feels a little bit denim-y, so I'm wondering if it's a bit of a twill, but I do love this fabric. I think it's got quite a good drape to it, even though it's quite heavyweight, and it looks really good on. I did do the pleats, I think, slightly differently to what is on the pattern. I don't think you would really notice too much, and I didn't add the pockets on. Sometimes I'm a fan of skirts with pockets and sometimes I'm not. So in this instance, I just decided to not include the pockets. And the final make that I have to show you is a skirt that I used a McCalls pattern for this time, which is 7355. And I did view B, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was view B. So the story with this pattern, if you haven't watched the video that I made while I was making it, is the fabric suggestions for this pattern are very lightweight fabrics. So they suggest using fabrics like satin and taffeta, and I used a really heavy jacquard. Initially when I made this skirt, I just liked it for the shape of the kind of skirt that I wanted to use. But when I started to make it, I then realised that gathering it would be quite difficult. So I initially tried to put box pleats in it, but then it lost all the volume and the shape of the skirt. So then I went back to putting in the gathers, and to make the gathers on the skirt, I used the same technique that I used for my tutu skirt, which was to attach floss to the skirt first and then do a zigzag stitch over the floss while pulling it tight as the machine went over the fabrics. And that did a really nice gather on the skirt, so I was then able to adapt the waistband to be able to fit an elastic band in it. So I've got an elastic waist jacquard skirt. Wow, that is a mouthful. The coat that I styled it with in the clips is another McCalls pattern, it's 7481. I'm not 100% sure if I've shown this to you guys already, I feel like I may have. I know I've included it in a lookbook, which I will link in, but this is the pattern and I used view C, but I didn't include the pockets on view C, and I also haven't included the button on view C. I know before, I think I might have mentioned that I was going to add a button onto it, but I've decided now not to. It means that the jacket doesn't sit quite as well on the body because there's nothing really to hold it together, and it is quite a heavy jacquard. But I think through spring and summer, when it gets a bit warmer, I think it'll be a good overcoat to wear. I'm wearing a coat that's like fastened all the way to the top and keeping you really warm. They are all my recent makes. Hopefully I'll be getting back into the routine of making these monthly make videos. I enjoy watching them to find out what other people have made throughout the month, and it just gives you a bit of an idea of what patterns people are using and the different ideas and stuff that you can get around it, and also as well looking at the gorgeous fabrics that everybody uses. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave any comments and questions you have in the box below. Also let me know how you prep to make buttonholes, if there's any techniques that you use to make sure that they are all lined up properly. I would really love the feedback and help to make my buttonholes much better than they currently are. Continue to like, share and subscribe. Share this video with whoever you feel would enjoy watching it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!